is the material, which is the super fun one. And normally you click material on here. If you extend your window, you'll see the material right here. Everyone see that? A nodding head or something. And then you get to start with like a generic material, which is right now, all these are for the material base. So what is this telling you right now? A rendering is, I'm gonna take out my headphone, sorry. So the rendering is very important. Why is that? Because like the rendering adding the layer of your imagery by using the diffuse, reflection, refraction, and opacity and bump. And to kind of explain this more is the diffuse is the color. It's just the data of color. So if I change the diffuse color to like red, for example, you can see this become red, right? And then you go to reflection. The reflection color means like basically the spectre of it. So like how shiny or the plastic-ish you can create them by using the reflection. So you can see right now the reflection is black, which is mean there's no reflection at all. But with you like clicking to white, see, it started getting a lot of reflection. And that's how you kind of remember the fundamental of V-Ray, is using the black and white as a 0 to 1. So 0 means black, means nothing in there, and 1 means like there's like all of it, so which is like creating this plastic-ish feeling. So for this exercise we're doing, we want to keep the reflection lower, but not just giving a little bit, so you see better with the light. So can anyone kind of tell me why, how the reflection creating? No, just talking. Oh, how do you think the reflection creating in the rendering tool?
It creates a random sun and projects points from the point that it created where the fake light source, I guess, and would reflect off those points. Like it would project them onto the object and reflect off of them.
So this is very close. Actually, all I'm asking is like the light, right? Like, and how the V-Ray work, or how all the rendering tool is basically by using the bouncing the lights. So just in case, and just let you guys know, adding more light sources is gonna make the rendering longer, or either like more accurate at the same time. So in this term, you're adding a reflection, it's gonna like make your rendering time go a little bit higher. So let's keep it black for now. But for you guys, I'll prefer you guys have a little bit reflection, so you'll see better with the light on it. And then all this different thing, you can have reflection glossiness, which is when you have reflection, but you can still diffuse the glossiness of it. So you can see this is very like plastic-ish, glossy, and this is like not really, but it still have reflection. And how do you see that? Is actually you can see a little bit like a little bit white light on here. So it's like a matte surface. Okay. And the reflection IOR, a lot of people didn't think it's important, but for me, I think it's really helpful because you can just change the IOR, but not really changing anything of reflection color or reflection glossiness. And then you can change this, for example, to, I'll do 1.2. And then now you can play with the reflection color. For example, if I do blue, green, and then you can see right now I have reflection kind of like greenish, and then create this like bubbly or this like car paint effect. This is like a little tip, but it's not really like have to do. So you can see if I don't using IOR, I have like my reflection like everywhere and it doesn't really control very well. So which is, if I have my IOR, that'd be better. You can see if I change to 0.5, adding more. So refraction is when you have something like transparent project. So let's skip this one and give it to opacity. So the opacity literally mean it just like how you see it. Like is it diffuse, is it opaque, or is it like transparent? So if you lower the opacity, it makes the thing start to become like glass like or like translucent. You guys all know this part before, or is like new for you guys? Nodding head, this is like old, or like shaking head is new? Audrey should know. She was in the V-Ray section I had before. Okay, anyway. So, okay, so the opacity. And then, so let's give it opacity and go back to refraction. So refraction means like how the light's bouncing through your material, like how the translucent material working. So the reflection, same idea. You can change it to white. So see the light start to go through a lot, and then less, this light go through less. The IOR is still the same. Okay. Okay, and we're now doing bump this time, but I can show you guys what bump do real quick. So the bump means like the bump map. So what's the bump map? You have to kind of relate to the UV mapping, which is as you guys saw in the video game. Let me, Cicely, can you go to your Google real quick? Hello? Hello? Okay, well, any question for now? No? No for Nico? For other people? No? Audrey, no? Okay, Brooklyn, it's like, good, sweet. Okay. Okay. So okay, let's start with bump. Let's go with bump. So bump means that you can find a picture. That's why you need to go to Google, like kind of downloading like a rock texture or like a brick texture, and then you can click this checker map and go to bump bitmap, and which will bring you to another world of like, okay, let's just use this one. No one picking her work. Okay. And then you can see I choose this one. And then, okay. And now I have like a bump on my object. Okay. So this is the thing you guys can play around with: diffuse color, reflection, bump, and binding. Doesn't really do anything though, so can be ignore. Okay, so next part is the really important one. Do anyone have a question? I don't want to give any opacity right now. No? Can people who don't have their camera on to open their camera? Okay, thank you. Because it's really hard to see if anyone is following something. So where's my share screen? Okay. So everyone knows about this color part, material part? Good? Okay. And then now I have all the material set up the way I want. And then I click on my object I want to apply in this material, and right click, and apply to selection. Now I have, voila, I have to like this material on this object right now. Okay, so this whole tutorial, the first part gonna be really easy. It's gonna be just be like how to use the interface. The second part, we can use one of your project part of it, and then kind of creating like how the light goes through the space and stuff. Okay, cool. Okay, so now we want to create the lights. So the lights including, there's different option in here. Sorry. So if you click on creating, go lights, you can see there's a rectangle light, sphere light, spotlight, IES light, can be ignore light, dome light, and mesh light. So just to explain in the term, rectangular light basically is like a direction light. It gives you like a box of the light, and then how it goes is like which direction you're picking. This whole box of light will create your affording. So we're gonna use it. Okay. So we're gonna start rendering stuff. Okay, I'm a little bit. Okay. So now I'm in this, and then because the reason you guys cannot see the light in here because you're in render view. So the render view will not show any like light sources or like the light selection here. So if you go back to shade view, and then you can right click on the rectangular light, and then you can click select object in scenes, which is right now you will see your light got selected. That just close it. Okay. Too big. To make it smaller. Okay, let's put it away. So you can see right now I have a light here, and then that just make this bigger. So now you see the boxes outside. Like this boxes outside is the boundary of the light, which is how it works is all the light will be exactly the same how bright is it. So it's like infinity light sources coming from here, right? But it still counts as one light sources in the computer, so which is fine. And then you can see the angle, which is showing you the light shining to this direction, not the opposite. Okay, so now go back to this part. You see the rectangular light, and then you give it to like maybe at 50 right now. And now is the hard part. So now is the output section, which is including what kind of engine you're using, and then you can use interactive rendering tool and the quality of it, and then all this thing we will like kind of play with it a little bit. So go to interactive rendering, and hoping we're not crashing. Okay, we're good. Nice. Okay. So you can see I have my bump mapping here, and I have my light and reflection and everything. Who can tell me why I have this big like white boxes? Do anyone know?
Is that the light that you put
Yeah.
in?
Yeah, so that's the light source. But why is it like a big, just like a light box? Do anyone know how to like fix it? Okay.
Would
So
you change?
now let's stop this a little bit. And now you have to go back to the assess editor. So in the light, you have one option. It's called the intensity, right? And then the option, there's one box, it's called invisible, which is if I click it, my light sources will be invisible, but only the light which is shining in front of the light box will still be there. So let's just render it again. So now I don't have the box. Okay. Do everyone have things like this right now? Yeah, no? Shake it. Okay, good.
Wait, I'm confused. How did you add the material onto the object? Or
Oh,
like
okay.
the
No
color?
problem. Let's do that again. So you go to material, right? And then this is the material we create. Let's give it a name. Cool. Okay. And then there are too many. So you go to your object, you want to hide this. So you click on your object you want to add the material on, and right click, apply to selection. So now this one's actually have your material on it.
Okay, I see. Thanks.
No problem. And interactive rendering means, like in liter means like you can interact it with it. So you can do, you can see like a lifetime render kind of thing. This is really nice material. Lucky. Not lucky. Okay. So everyone have things like this? Okay. Okay. So let's continue. So right now it seems like it looks pretty good, right? It looks like everything is like the lighting and stuff. It's not bad. But now you can see this is a little bit too shining right here, or either this is a little bit too bright. And the way to fix it, and this is kind of annoying. I'm supposed to make like a really bad rendering first and then fix it. But it come on not bad. So it's annoying. Okay. So in the camera, do anyone use film camera before? No? Okay. And do anyone photograph or something? Okay, I'm gonna explain this a little bit. So if you have a camera, this is a camera, and then what the exposure value means is like how many light go into your lens. Like not really like how many light goes where it means like how like how many lights it's like blocked to your lens basically. So your lens is like this, and then this is the number. It's gonna adjust the distance of this. So which is mean if you have this in 10, means like you will have a darker video image. So if I do 22, you see what happened? See my drawing basically gone because right now I have a really like little amount of opening on my camera. And if I change to 15, now mine is a little bit back, but it's darker than before because earlier was 10. So I know this is a little bit confusing. Let me explain this again. So basically the order is the higher the number is, the image the darker. But which is the lower the number is, your image will be like super bright, which is wow, like that. So I think we can do like a 12. That's good. Okay. Any question for the exposure? No. Let me know if any part is like confusing. I can go it again because this
Are you in the
can be,
light setting right now? Or is that another setting?
no, this is the output setting. So we just go back to the general setting in the camera, which is in generally all the image, not just that typical light. Of course, you can change the light intensity with a different number. For example, I want to keep everything the same camera length, but then now I want to change this to like 20, which is of course the light gonna be darker, right?
Okay.
Any question? Any more question? Oh, okay. Is it too fast or too slow? Good. Nicola, say good. Okay, sweet. Okay, so let's go back to this and let's change it back to 30. So everyone knows the camera, what it do already? Good. Okay, so the depth of field, normally I will not mess around with it. But for example, if you want to have like a focal distance, but this is a little bit hard to explain, but I will explain a little bit. So the focus means if this is your camera, this is your lens, and this is the object 1, object 2, which is this is probably on 100 and this is on 200. And the focus distance means how the light kind of focus on which one. So which is if it's 200 right now, this 101 will be blur, and then this 201 will be clear. So ever saw these like kind of picture you can create in this vector. But this is not in our case. In our case, it's more like diagrammatic rendering or like emphasizing the light. So it's not really about that. Okay, so now we're in render output. The render output is basically how big is your image gonna be. So if your professor say, hey, you guys have to do a 1080, so just put 1080 in here. And then you will have like a 16 and 9, 1080 HD image. In your case, a lot of time you guys gonna use square. So like if it's square and then open space, save frame, which just means like where is this gonna be rendering? So I can make sure my object is inside my canvas. So now I'm make sure it's in here and I can hit rendering again. Okay. That out. And make sure every time you guys changing thing, don't make it like still rendering. I know like people say you can do that, but sometimes you crash your computer. So I'll make sure not do that, aborting the rendering and then go back to the assist editor to change stuff. Okay, cool. So the animation, I think is not important for you guys right now. It's basically you guys can create an animate from the V-Ray and you can create in, or like the effect of the animation, basically. Okay, so the environment is very important. Environment can be used to like, anyone know the, like the IRS image, which is like you have an object and you can have a spheres to like simulating the surrounding. And that's what the environment is doing. So right now the environment is doing a default of like a black color right now, but you can change that. So let's just click it out. So you can see it's like a gradient. Now it's just all black. Okay. Any question? No? Audrey said no. Audrey got it. She's like, I did it last semester. Come on. Something new. Okay, let's do something new. And then material override, which just means like when you just want to see how the light source is working on your object, you don't want to see any material effect or any materials affecting your light selection. And then you can do like material override, which is if I render again, I'll only see how the light going into my object. Okay, you guys learn very fast. And the swarm is just adding your rendering time, so don't click it. In case you want to publish your project later or something, then like you can just click it. It just make the thing looks good. Okay, so now this is important. In your case, you're gonna have multi material, either like 2 different materials, something like that, and then you can kind of play with your like rendering, and later you can Photoshop thing. So now you have all this option you can use, which is emphasizing the image quality and the image element in here. So if you go to layer, okay. So if you go to layers, and then you can start adding all this thing, which is the material ID is when you have multi-object, and then with like 3 different material, like 1, 2, 3. And then when you render out, it'll become like 3 different color. So, and then when you render out, it becomes 3 different color, which is you can Photoshop by selecting tool with like colors or something, and then we can do it. And I will show you guys in the Google later. We just don't render that right now. Okay. Okay. So now I get rid of it. Okay. So any question? I mean, we're almost done with this part though. This is quick. Sweet. Okay. Brooklyn looks like I have a question. Brooklyn, question?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Okay, sweet. You guys smart. Okay, so do you guys want me to kind of show how to do it in your particular project? Is it going to be helpful for you guys? Okay. Can Cecily, can you open your file for that? What time is it? Sorry guys, I cannot see the time. Can you guys give me a time?
2:13.
2:13. 2:13. Let's take a 10-minute break, and then we come back like 2:25, and then that's let you guys kind of mess around with the rendering tools and stuff, and I'll see my V-Rays work or not. Okay, cool. See you guys in 10 minutes. Anyone send their section to my email? Hello. Anyone back? I got my video at work now. Haha. Paul is back. John Paul is back. Audrey is back. Hi, Audrey. I got a muted hi. Okay. Brooklyn back. Anyway, everyone ready? We continue our fun thing with the V-Ray. Mine is a huge file. Okay. Cece, that's okay. You can just open the file for yourself. I'm using one of my old projects to kind of demonstrate this part. Thank you. Okay. Let's start. So, screen to share. Just let you get know this is one of my really old project I did, and then I just used this one for today to kind of demonstrate what we're gonna do. So, and this is gonna have more problem, I think. You guys and maybe my end as well. So we'll see how if it's go very well. It'd be great. But let me change the C plan real quick. So back to VRS. Everyone have their file open? Yeah, no. And someone talking? It's so silent. So quiet.
Yeah, I have my file open.
Okay, sweet. Thank you. Okay, so let's start it. So you guys will have something like a section right now, right? You guys are working in a kind of like a section quality, and then right now we're looking to render in this with like pure light, maybe not as materialized as like what we showed earlier, but with like really cool light sources in there and something like that. So let's get started. Let me change this real quick. That's this is by the way just let you guys know. And like this is one of my third year projects. I think is from Professor Ibrahim. Probably some of you guys know him. And the sightless material or something like that. Okay. But anyway, so let's start it. So again, V-Ray Assess Editor, go to V-Ray Assess Editor and you have V-Ray Assess Editor. And just in case is just make sure it's gonna work. I'm just gonna render this real quick to see. Okay, sweet. Right, we already kind of have a really nice lighting. But anyway. So for this one, now we want to do is, again, we want to close the environment. So if I hit render again, it'll be black. So now we want to create my own light. So in this case, and also in your guys' case, would that be more helpful if I use one of your project, or this is okay?
That should work out, I think. It's pretty similar.
Okay, okay. That's what I thought. And I asked, no one sent it to me. It's so sad. Okay, so just want you guys know, earlier we were talking about the material ID, which is like this. I can render the material into like different color, and later I can in Photoshop I can kind of work on it. So if you go to like V-Ray rendering layer in the YouTube, you actually can see how these like renderings building, right? For example, like this one, commercial time. I didn't get paid for this one though. Okay, so and then now you can using like, let me find this, using material ID and a refraction. And this is all the different quality you can get from your rendering. And this is called Z-Depth. It's just super cool. You guys gonna use it for sure. I'm gonna teach you guys this one. This is gonna be something like special. Okay. Okay, I'm excited for Z-Depth. It's fun. Okay, anyway, so let's start it. So go back to what we already have, and then we started adding light sources in here. So in this case, you guys are looking into like section, right? So what I want to do, and I think will be helpful, is to kind of creating a box for it. Then let me get my C-plane straight again. Okay, now C-plane. And then just open this up. So now I have kind of like a stage-like object, right? So what it means is I don't get affected by the outside, and also the reflection of it will be more like natural. So it's just the way I like to do. Okay. So now we have something like this. Are you guys using parallel, or are you guys using just pure, or are you guys using like perspective right now?
I think we're doing parallel.
Parallel, okay. So let's do a parallel. Something like that, right? Okay. So the first thing is nice to have a box like this. Is like inside the box. So this is the box I have, right? So inside the box, if I do any of like lighting, let's say if I have a lighting here, or if I have a sphere's light here, my light will like go to the box and bounce back, which is start to have more light sources naturally, and kind of diffuse the directed light sources. So make it looks like more natural, and make it looks more like more detailed and accurate. So it will bounce back, and then it will bounce back. So it's kind of giving this like more opportunity to kind of shine. So let's test it out real quick. And okay, so again, adding the light sources, and go to shape view so we can see the light. And again, going to light sources, rectangular light. And you can do any other light if you want, but like I personally like rectangular light just because it works like directional light in Maya, and I like to render in Maya. So it's just my personal decision, but you guys can use sphere light if you guys using sphere light before or something. But today we're gonna more like using the rectangular light. So there's no like right or wrong. There's like one other way basically. Okay. So again, we right click, select object in the scene, very small right here. Okay. So first, I think what would be helpful is for you guys to all have like a diffuse light sources, which is just a direct light to shine into the box. I'm doing this super quick, so like it looks kind of tilted or whatever. I'm like, not really care right now. Not care. And I give intensity maybe just 30. And then I go to option, invisible, click. And I go back to my view. Whoa, that's super bright, isn't it? Okay. So now 30 is too bright. We got 5. Okay. So now I have like a kind of like a light in here, like a diffuse light, or like kind of like what we call the base light. Okay. And then also, let's say if I have like I can also do this. So go back to 30. And then I say, oh my God, light is super bright right here. And I can change this to maybe 15. Now I still have like a darker kind of situation. 12. Okay. So that's my like normal light right now. Okay. So now we want to adding like other different lighting here. We want to adding like maybe, let's say, sorry, I'm trying to edit it. So maybe a light going into here and like more emphasizing like the space right here or something like that. Or like a light right here maybe. Or like a light right here. So let's do this one, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So of course, again, we want to create a light sources. So let's say rectangular light again. And if you guys think like someone might think like, whoa, I'm crushing. No. Not good. Okay, I'm dead. Damn it. It's okay. Today is really not my day. Let's do this real quick. Super. Super shitty day. Okay. That's all good. That's all good. Anyone have a question while I'm redoing this?
So for my section at least, I'm using a clipping plane.
Uh-huh.
Can you show clipping planes in V-Ray?
Oh yeah, of course, sure. Oh, by the way, I think someone might know this. Was it Cecily or someone who was asking about the clipping plane before? So one thing about the clipping plane in V-Ray, if you want to make it look like a solid, not like not like it's cutting through like a bad meshes or something, you need to make sure all your object is like a closed surface, so like closed poly surface. So let's say if I have a box and you have a bad box. So if I do clipping plane, okay, no way. Oh, okay, say if I do clipping plane, one will be like this solid and the other one will be like kind of breaking. So make sure you guys have like a close poly surface. And then we can show that later though. Let me get it back real quick. That's a good question. Is it John Paul?
No, Nick.
Nick. Damn. Cool. Thank you. You guys both have a really cool voice. Okay. Anyway, let me get this back real quick. I'm sorry. It crashed, and that's telling everyone to save their project. Especially we want to keep saving this particular exercise just because it's annoying. We're back. No worry. And by the time you guys will be fast as this, you guys will be rendering master. Okay, cool. Okay, we're back. So now we want to do that again. Let's do a clipping plane no, let's keep put the light in there first. And you can also do this. Let's say if you have a light you really like, you can also always duplicate it by just holding Auto and drag it. But it was still showing one light sources, which is the tricky part, because if you want this light to be 50 and that light to be like 100, you cannot do that. Because if you change it to 50, all of the light is going to be 50. So it only follow one setting. So that's the tricky part. Anyway, so you have that, and then we want parallel, right? View. Okay, back. Sweet. Okay, so now I want to make this one to look a little bit nicer. Actually, I will close the cipher now, and then because I want to show something else. Environment, and make sure you guys close the environment just to kind of go over again real quick. Okay, so now I want to have a light in here, and then to have maybe the light can go through the hole in here and then become like another light in here or something. And that's just adding light. Adding light, you can choose. Let's do each of it, and another rectangular light right here. So I want to use this material light maybe for this part. Right here. So now it's like too dark right there. Can do this real quick. Oh, by the way, you guys can also do this. So you want to put things in the perspective view, not in the parallel view, because you like me, I have a hard time to kind of mess around with my model. So you can do this. You can do new float viewport. And right click, which is like this new port. This viewport will always be your rendering view. So you can put it away. So this is on my another screen right now. And then if I change it to set it back to perspective, those two. now if I render, it will still render my my parallel view, but just I can have like a better kind of viewing here. So like that, and have like 2 of it. So that you can make in this one bigger, maybe. And you hit it again. See that? It looks good. Cool. I'm happy it looks good. Okay. So in the far away, it looks like, you know, like in here, it looks like this in here. So it started giving a little bit of lighting here. And what will be next? Let's do the spotlight.
I have a question.
Hey, go ahead.
How do you make the whole render black?
Oh, so go to the general setting, and then go to environment, and now you have this unclick and click this one. So make it like unclick.
Okay.
Got it? Sweet. That looks really good. I'm happy. Okay, so now let's just do this one real quick. Are you guys gonna all have like a really amazing rendering on Thursday? Let's add another light sources. Like spotlight. So spotlight is interesting because spotlight, you actually start to have the light. You can see this part is like the brightest and start to like diffuse and start to be like darker outside. So it looks like your light, right? It looks like actually your light looks less like LED, but more looks like a lamp or something, which is like kind of cool. So a lot of people like to use spotlight. I personally not really like it because I don't think it's easy to control. But I'll use it when I need like a spotlight. I know what okay. So the spotlight, you can see no matter how I kind of like change it or never how I like stretch it, it just stretch with like the same ratio. And the reason because you have to change it from here and change the cone angle. You can see on here is like changing. So let's say if I change it to like really wide, which is mean like it's like super wide right now, but means that it's gonna be super bright right here and darker, right? So we don't want to do that. We want to make it like natural, which is 10, 20 is fine. And then the angle of this one is kind of the same thing. I don't really know why I changed to 2. Okay. So the intensity actually is the part you can make it like brighter or like, you know, less brighter or something like that. And then you can do option, you can click out the shadow, then you don't have any shadow to create from this light, or you can have it. So the intensity, you want to just keep it to maybe 100 still. Oh, okay, I see. So the second object is for you. Okay, so again, let's go to annotation again. Anyone have a question right now? So if you have a spotlight, which is this is interesting. So this part will be like all kind of like brightness and then start to diffuse, right? And the first one just kind of in generally can scale 2 of it, so it can be like this is like super big and this is like super big. But for this one, the Penumbra, which is like it become like you keep this one the same. So this will be the same. And then you can make this like larger. So which is from here to here will be more diffuse. So which is like this will be like lighter and then to darker. The range of it is wider. So it's really for the accurate and then for like the personal reference. And so yeah, you guys can kind of play around with it. But let's see how it looks in the rendering. See, that's why I don't like Spotlight. Okay. So what did I do? Huh. What happened? Oh, here we go. Okay. That. So you can see I started giving like a spotlight right here, but I just change it a little bit, maybe like down here. And then go a bit. Okay, sorry, mess around this a little bit. Okay. Anyone question? Why I'm kind of messing around with this?
No, I don't have a question about that, but my thing isn't rendering anything when I do it. Like,
Do you want to share screen?
yeah, just one sec.
Yep. Any other people have a question?
Sorry, I clicked the wrong thing.
Oh, no worry. So now it's working?
Yeah, like I go into the thing, and then when I click render, it just comes up with a gray box.
Is
Like
this,
it
how
says
about-
it finished, but and then I'm looking at that, like nothing's showing up.
do you want to share screen? Oh, here we go. Okay.
I am, yeah. Yeah, it's just come up as a gray box. Even though I'm clearly looking at that.
Wait, are you sharing screen? I didn't see your screen. Sorry. Oh, here we
Yeah.
go. Okay. Again.
Yeah, it just comes up as this gray box, and it says it finished doing everything, but
No, it just it's just still compiling the geometry for some reason. Let me see your setting. Your rendering output.
Yeah.
Does anyone have the same issue? No? Okay. Let me request a remote. So again, click out the environment.
Oh.
And then do you have light?
Yeah, I have one little light, but
One.
still trying to figure that stuff out.
It is actually rendering. So you need to add the light. Where's your light?
Right now it's in the little center triangle thing. Yeah, that little center triangle. I have one in there. It's being cut in half by the clipping plane at the moment.
It's being clipped. Cut in half. Where's the direction it's facing to?
I believe it's facing straight down.
Can you delete the clipping plane real quick?
Yeah, just
I mean that we can still see something. It's okay. Let's just do this. Should work though. Hmm. Here, son. Yeah, it seems that your rendering is not moving. We can take a look later.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I tried switching it to my graphics card rather than my CPU because my graphics card is a little bit better. But
Are you using GPU right now?
right now it's on the CPU.
And does GPU work better? Work? No.
I'm not quite sure. It wasn't working right away, but it definitely was loading a little bit on the cube thing when I was messing with it.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah, it actually say it's done, right?
Yeah, if you pull the thing up, it says it's 100% complete already, and it just rendered a black square.
Hmm. Yeah, let's take a look later. Does anyone have a rendering done? Oh, it actually worked. Okay. So it's the light. You don't have any light.
That must be it. Yeah.
Yeah, your light is too maybe your scale is huge, so that's why your light is like not really doing anything to you right now.
It might be. It should be an inch.
So yeah, I don't know, but it actually worked, so which is good.
All right.
So yeah, yep. Okay. You want to stop sharing screen?
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay. So I almost left the meeting. And you guys can go. No, you guys gotta stay here. Okay, so I actually make it work. The reason of it is my scale, because my scale is like huge, and then it wasn't working, so that's why. So see, I actually create the spotlight right here, and now I just need to mess around with the intensity and stuff. Is that a cat? That's a cat. Oh, look at that. That's sweet. Yay. Okay. Everyone have things like this right now? Yeah, no. John Paul say yeah. John Paul share screen. Okay, let's take a time to kind of see what everyone is working on. Okay. John Paul, can you share screen?
Actually, you know what? Now it's like it's giving me a little grief. Hold on, maybe somebody else can share. I could try mine again.
Okay. That's all good. Do anyone want to share their beautiful rendering right now?
I can show mine if you'd like.
Oh, sweet. Go ahead.
It's just finishing up like the passes for the rendering.
Oh, that looks good. Okay.
I was trying to put a spotlight on the bottom left, but I think I might have to, like you were, like increasing the intensity and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But
so we can use the reason I want to kind of start looking into like how you guys doing, because I can kind of explain. No, make it bigger. So now I can explain like how the light kind of working. So if you want to have, let's say you want this to be more dramatic, like you guys can study the lighting in the video game you guys using, right? Like for example, like the variant is more like subtract, and then the control is like really crazy with like shadow and stuff. So you guys can kind of look into that. And then for this one, like you guys can even say, let's put like a really small light right here, and then kind of light through this whole wall. So this will have like a lighting kind of climbing on the wall kind of situation. So that's the thing I want to show you guys later. And then we can go to ZDep and we can call it a day. Okay. Sweet.
I
Okay.
figured out what my issue was. I had
Hey.
a clipping plane hidden somewhere and I didn't know where it was, and it was cutting off the object I was trying to look at.
Ah, that's why. Yeah, you have nothing in there basically.
Yeah, now it's there, but it wasn't there before.
So do you want to share screen to share your work?
Yeah, let me just turn off the sun again. Hold
Okay.
on.
What time is it? It's 3. What time you guys class done?
4, I think.
4.
something.
Okay. We had time. We have time.
Here, just one sec. Oh shit, I'm in parallel. That's why I can't zoom in.
Yeah, I'm happy you guys are like kind of following up. Okay. Anyone want to share screen first, Audrey? No?
Yeah, I can share my screen.
Sweet.
Let's just close it.
The jump ball is in the dorm, right? No? Oh, this is sweet. Nice. Oh, look at that. Really cool. Oh, look at that. This is what, yeah, this is really cool. That's really cool. That is really, really cool. Whoa. Okay. I'll get a raise, I think. I'll get a promotion. Cool. Good job. Okay. Anyone else? Let's see 2 more. Hey, there's a benefit. You guys show, we can like talk about it a little bit, and then can improve it.
Mine's almost done rendering.
Hey, sweet. This is like exciting. You guys all have really cool and cooler than mine. This is making it a little bit not cool, but it's still cool. Okay. Anyone? Just you can share your screen, even though it's still rendering. It's fine. It's not, and make sure you save the file too. Start screen sharing. Oh wait, what the hell? Oh, nice. Whoa. Very cool. And the light is like coming from the bottom kind of thing? The light is right here?
Yeah, there's light coming from the bottom, and then there's like a red spotlight coming from the left.
Sweet. Yeah, and it would be really cool if you have like a light kind of in here. Be really cool. Or like, Yeah. Wow, this is really cool. Or maybe even you can like make this part darker, and then have like a kind of like a light in here, and kind of creating this like dome shape, or kind of like, kind of like a dome basically. That'd be really cool. Sweet. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Good job. Nice. Okay, let's continue. You guys all have really cool rendering. Sweet. Okay, let me share screen. And we can have another share round after the whole thing again. Okay, so now we're looking into like a spotlight, and then a square light, and then we can create in the emissive. Really, this is really amazing thing by the way. So the emissive means like you ever go to like the concert and then you see this like glowing kind of thing you like on the hand, you know, shaking or something. So which is creating this kind of like effect of like technical or something, which is will be really benefit for the cyberpunk group. So I'm just gonna show you guys. So the emissive doesn't work with just light. The emissive actually is a material. So you go to emissive material right here. So let's go to material emissive, which is you create the emissive material, and then you start to kind of mess around with the color. And then you have intensity, which is normally the intensity is like super bright, by the way. So maybe like 200 or maybe 200 bright. And then you can have transparency, but normally I'm not giving. And then you can have like bump and displacement. That's all that you guys know. So now I can select, apply to selection, and go back to here. So I select the part of my cloud, right? So if I hit rendering, my cloud is like shining. See that? And then it creates a little bit like kind of light, like right here as well. Yeah. So that's what emissive working. Okay. So the next thing we can show is the mesh lights, which is, and then we kind of skip the IES light, the Omni light, and Dome light. Dome light is basically is like for when you have something you want to render as an object. So let's say, oh, I have a new assignment. I have to render parts of my project. So let's say I take this out and then select it. And then I'm giving a dome light right here, which is the dome light is kind of like, I think the not fun one, but you know, everything is fun. Oh, the dome light in the V-Ray is so weird. Okay. So basically you're giving like a dome, which is like full with light. And as I say, all the light will be like exactly same intensity, direction, and all this like different stuff. It's kind of for like product design, right? It's like, or like object rendering. So let's say I have this, and I do a dome light. I have like a really like, you know, same kind of diffuse color or same kind of like lighting quality. And then I can select like the direction. And now I have like the light shining from this way. So this is like when you're rendering like an object or like, you know, some individual thing. But you know, for in our case, it's not really important. Okay, sweet. Okay, let's go back to fun part. So now we have square light, dome light, da da da. Okay. So now I have everything. Anyone have a question for the lighting?
For the emissive, like, can you apply bricks and like concrete to it too?
Oh yes, yes. This is a good question. So let's say I want to have an emissive, really cool concrete surface in here. This model was, you know, I was young, so it's not really clean. So sorry. Okay, so let's do another emissive material. Let's say. Are you saying like using the brick material and then adding emissive on it, or like using emissive material to adding brick texture on it?
Either way, I would like to see both if you could do both.
You cannot really do both, but you can do it from emissive. So you can go to color, and then the color now you can select bitmap, right? You can, I don't really know what I have. I don't really have any material, I think. I don't have material. Okay, let's pretend this is a brick. And then now adding color on here, which is the emissive will have color at the same time. And then I can add the bump map in here, which is that's the question you're asking about, like if it's a brick, and I can add in like a brick as bump map on it.
Yeah.
And also you can use displacement, right? Like you can add in like the texture quality of it. But I think in this point of you guys exercising, I think that's probably fine on this point. But you can see they have like color in here and something else and so forth. So you can actually do the break. Let's basic. Let's say if I find a brick. And by the way, displacement map is doing with the Z-depth, which is the black and white image. So if you do, and then do, you'll have like kind of this black and white color. So if I, and then I go to my bump map, not a good picture, fit. I go to displacement. And then I do map, bitmap, like that. So let me close this a little bit. So now you actually see it have like texture, right? Like it's really hard to see. Do this. Oh, this is annoying. Okay. And then apply to selection. And then make sure when you have material, in case you guys don't know, you guys are remapping. What's the scale? Oh my God, I'm ready. Oh my gosh. Don't crush me right now. And then if I go to render view, you can actually see this on here, right? And do rendering. It's a little bit too bright, but like you get the idea, I think. Let me see. That's good. This is not, not what you guys need to do right now, but just showing. I see that. Okay, great. Let me get it bigger. That's the break with the emissive. So you can add in the bump map, you can add in the material on any kind of material, or you can, and then you can render it out as like a texture on it. Did anyone need me to do it again? Yeah, no. So you go to color, you add in that bump map in there, and then you go to the bump map, adding the color in there, you go to displacement to adding color in there. And then assuming you guys probably know this already, just to scale the brick, right? To be like something reasonable. Like that. And then you will have something like this. Okay. Cool. Give me a head, like a nod. Okay. Thank you, Nick. Okay, so now we basically got everything, right? We got the lighting, we got the texture, the material, emissive material, and all this quality we want. So, any question? Any question for what we're doing right now? So now I have something like this. Oh, cool thing to tell you guys, but don't do it until later because I'm not sure you guys can do this. But V-Ray can actually add infer. Do you guys know that? Yeah, Paul say yeah. Yeah, that's of course. Come on.
Yeah,
Easy.
Professor Pacenti showed us a couple things that had fur caked all over them. I was like, that's kind of gross looking, but okay.
Of course, Pastinchi. Yeah, I like him. I was his student too, so that's why I think it's funny because he showed us too. So okay, and then yeah, go
Quick
ahead.
question. Could you let Shazia back into the Zoom?
Wait, how long he should be not in the Zoom?
Like, she just got out, I think.
Oh, what? Shazia just skipped the class, so everyone noted Shazia was not in the class. Shazia, you miss a lot.
That was my bad.
No, I'm kidding. Okay, so any question? Shazia, did you get the part of like the glowing brick? You did? Okay, sweet.
I was only gone for like a second.
No, you miss a lot. You were like not here. Okay, so now you have like this really crazy, nice, amazing rendering skill. You guys gonna apply to your project. I'm not sure. I think maybe that's it for render. But we can talk about the ZDev a little bit. So for ZDev, what is nice at ZDev is like you guys can start creating. ZDev is super cool, by the way. Super, super, super cool. It's like if you guys have ZDev, let's say this, and then let me say done, and then let's go to ZDev. Now you can see nothing here, nothing, which is because I don't have any like dev from Therma. Because I don't have the thing capturing inside it. Everything is maybe above what I was like setting to see the image. So if I set ZDev to camera, now I have everything bright. Damn it. Okay, this is the thing we're gonna mess around a little bit. So maybe 30, 100. Again. Okay, nothing. 200. Still nothing. 10,000. So I use a lot of ZDev in this is annoying. In the Maya, but not a lot in here. Let me see this real quick. It's gonna take too long, I think. anyway, so ZDev is gonna creating an image of this. So if you guys later, I think we got time. Let's see. We got time, right? Okay, we got 40 minutes. So let's see this. So the ZDev basically is, you see the target. Oh, okay, I see. Shima. Camera length. Oops. I think we just don't have time to let any render. So what ZDev do is, let me search it real quick. In the ZDev, you guys can kind of start to mess around with, oh, it's a little bit slow. So for example, you guys can start to like having, when you have Photoshop in there, you guys can overlay with screen or adding like lighten the light, and you can start adding all this like quality of like shadow, and then you can start to, especially when you're doing animation later, you can start to like kind of doing focus on this part and not focus on the rest of it or something like that. So if you guys search ZDev, let's do ZDev artist. So you can see in this project, I think it was a Japanese, I forgot the name of it. Let's see. Octane Scatter. No, I don't think that's the name. But he using ZDev, you can see it's kind of like layerizing, right? Like layers and layers and layer. So it's able to creating this like really nice like shadow and really nice kind of like gradient of colors. And then imagine that if you guys can just what they do is that you can actually just render this layer, maybe like the first layer of it, and then the second layer of it, and the third layer of it. So you can like start to like deconstruct or like kind of materializing your image. And then when you like doing it in the animation or when you like doing it in the parallel view, you actually can start to giving like a depth. So everyone see the parallel. Oh, you guys ever see the Scott? Is that how to spell skin mode? Siki mode.